Fuck it, we starting early. We starting fucking early today. What up? Ball egg. Ah! I need to mute that. Ah! Ball egg dick. I got your bitch. Holla. What is contact? Yo, so let's get that out of the way. Look, I bought Contact last night, and I'm looking for a good orchestral bank. Or is that what they call them? Or a orchestral library. Bank, library, whatever. Does anyone know of a good one? Do you guys even use Contact? What's the deal? What up, Reform? Spitfire? Session strings? I've heard... I was looking into shit. Thanks, Assboy Official. I did ask Ali. He didn't text me back, though. Piece of shit. Let me text him again, actually. Session strings. Yeah, that's what I was gathering. I'll probably get session strings. What up, Louie? Dude, I was going through your channel the other night with my girlfriend, Louie, and... Dude, you had some... Hold up, let me play this. There's a new one I haven't heard before. It was, all I want for Christmas, but it sounds terrible. Yo, this shit comes in so hot. Are you ready? Dude, holy shit, that comes in hot. All right, I bet that with FL Studio demo version. Okay, so also, quick question. Here, I'll play this for you real quick. This is something I started last night. Is that good? Is audio good? I gotta make sure, because I moved some shit around. Oh, I think I have it muted. Hold on. There we go. Let me mute these drums. God, okay, so real quick, I have 7 instances of Contact open because something I do not fucking understand is that I'm gonna need someone to explain to me is how... Let's open up a new project because I just want to figure this out so I can move on and use Contact. Yeah, sorry, the clipping sound in between bars... I mean, all you have to do... I'm sure there's more professional ways to do it, but if it's bothering me too much, you just fade it. That sound comes from, like, an incomplete wave that's not in the middle, that's not stopping directly in the middle of a signal. So, like, if I have a recording from the Prophet and I cut pieces around, so you have to crossfade them into each other to get rid of the click. Oh. Oh. Okay, so hold on. So here, we've got Contact open, and this is something I don't fucking get. So I've got all these instruments here in the factory library. Let's try, like, let's just open some strings. We'll open a cello. So that's all good. And I've got my different articulations. I'm trying to get my sustain pedal. And then I'll open another instrument. I'll open a harp. So what the fuck does that... How do I play the fucking harp, dude? This is where I get lost. I don't understand. I don't understand how to play... Like, I click on it. Is there something I need to click? I'm staring at chat. Set MIDI channel to... Change the MIDI channel. Okay, so this one is playing MIDI channel A1. This is A2. Do I set them both to A1? Oh. Wow. Oh. Okay. I see. What do you think about Kenny Beats' hot take on never sidechaining in 808? Yo, low key, I mean, I actually just saw a clip of him saying that the other day. And he was like really aggressively saying it. He was like, do not fucking sidechain. It's so stupid. And I was like, I don't know, man. That's like if he, I sidechain 808 sometimes, depending on what I'm making, but I don't know. To objectively say that you should never sidechain an 808 is just kind of like, I don't understand how you could objectively say that. It's like totally... I was honestly kind of thrown off. I was like, damn, Kenny feels that way? I feel like that's like... I think he said something like, if you're making house music, you can sidechain, sure, but don't ever fucking sidechain 808. And I was like, I don't know, like... I sidechain very, very often. You guys see me sidechain pretty much every single song. And I make it sound really good. And, you know, I think everyone has their own way of doing shit. And again, like, I don't always sidechain. But I do definitely disagree with how aggressively he was pushing. You know, it seemed like he was objectively certain. He had concluded you should never sidechain. And I just think that's bad advice, I guess. Like, I would encourage you, if you think it sounds good, I mean, I don't know, just personal preference. What is that? Is he, like, getting backlash for saying that or something? Also, yeah, I don't know, man. I swear, like, I heard tracks of his where I can hear that he has sidechained something. But maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Disagree though. Preference for sure. Okay, so I saw it in some YouTube tutorials. How do you fucking do the colored key shit? Yeah, sidechaining, I mean, yeah, it just yeah, he was saying, you know, if you sidechain your shit, it is not gonna hit. And that was just like, I don't know, man. I think it definitely can still hit. Like, I just didn't understand where all the passion was coming from. Exactly, Imagiro. It's like saying, like, if you EQ your shit, it's not gonna... It's like, that's just such a broad statement that it's like kind of seems ignorant to make. I know Kenny's obviously not ignorant. I think he just gets very passionate. And, you know, maybe perhaps the theatrics of how he was explaining it are actually not equal to how he feels. Actually, I think he's just very passionate and, like, ramped up. I don't think he actually feels that way. Like, if you sat down and had a rational discussion with him about sidechaining, I don't think he would be like, bro, nah. You can never sidechain. What are you using to control your... You should sidechain kick. Okay, dude, I've actually been learning um, a decent amount. I've been exploring different ways to get your kick to sit with an 808 lately. And he always hype off of Herba, off of Yerba. Um, it's true, dude. He'd be fucking yerbin. He'd been yerbin and skirbin. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you can like tune your kicks, if you can get your kick in the same key as your 808, that sounds really good. I mean, dude, look. At the end of the day, yeah, that's interesting, Alex. But I don't watch in depth his stream enough to see little techniques he's doing like that. But I swear that you're right. I swear I've heard beats from Kenny where shit is ducking on the kick, and I was like, dude, that you're literally sidechaining. Like, do you understand what sidechaining is? Because I actually do something similar. I duck the I put all my instruments, everything I want sidechained into a send, and I duck the volume. So I'm not actually sidechaining technically. Yeah, he did. He did say don't sidechain kick to 808. But you know, I don't want to go out on a mission to fucking debunk Kenny's sidechain shit, but I'm pretty sure I could explore his discography and find him doing that, like, somewhere. I swear I've heard it. But no, I don't think he was trolling. I don't know. I just think it was just bad advice. Kenny's kicks and 808s like sound amazing together. He's like probably consistently has some of the hardest hitting kicks and 808 combos I've heard. It's just interesting. So respect, but it is just interesting to hear him say something so bold and like seemingly objectively just incorrect. Enough about sidechaining kicks. So this. So what am I doing here? Oh, let me turn this to. That's a good sounding harp. What are you using to control MIDI? What do you mean to control MIDI? I have a big ass MIDI controller in front of me. Is that what you're talking about? What are you using to control? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, what kind is it? Oh, my bad. It's just a Casio extra weighted 88 key. I love the extra weighted. It makes it feel like an actual piano. And you just get more range of sensitivity. Dude, the harp sounds so good. It just instantly makes shit sound like a soundtrack. What up, Jorgen? Thanks, man. I miss you too, brother. You're still modded. You can just ban everyone, dude. Take over the stream. Jorgen, do you use Contact? I could use your help. I need some fucking help. You have a hammer action MIDI controller arriving tomorrow? What the fuck? Dude, Amadro, your upright piano sounds so good. It sounds amazing. Whatever you're playing, and like, I think you posted like an Instagram video, and I'm assuming it's the same thing that was in that track that you sent, like last week. That thing sounds so good. The hammer noise on it, it's got such a good hammer noise. Okay, so how... Alright, let's figure this out real quick, and then maybe we can rant for a little bit before we dive in. But how exactly do I... First of all, how do I get this piano bullshit to even show up with the colored keys assigning shit to certain colors?
This is a certified hood classic.
Thanks for the donation. Mooney Pilos. I don't know how to... I feel like every time I get a sub or a donation, it's the weirdest fucking name that I can't read. Every time, but I appreciate it. Would you ever collab with Kid again? I don't know, maybe. It's just the homie. Arrow facing right, click it. Top left, arrow facing right, click it. Top left, arrow facing right. Okay. That? Why would I click that? Is that what you're talking about? Mountain Mooney. Hit F3? You guys are trolling. Okay. Well, what is this? How is this going to help me? Oh. You're just trying man. Oh, nice. Amadro, yep. Please come through. I guess it's okay. Okay, so... Okay, I understand now. I understand. Another annoying ass thing. I'm not even going to explain. Doesn't matter. Oh, you hear that? I forget how to play it. What are we doing? Are we making music, or are we just kicking it for a second? Because I kind of want to bust a chill, talk about some shit. Are you guys getting bored in quarantine? Are you getting like depressed or anything? Okay. I'm gonna come back to that message, Stuffy. Next to the gear on the top right. The boxy thing next to the gear on the top right. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting pretty fucking bored, man. Oh, Whiplash is fire. I watched Annihilation with my girlfriend the other day. We've been watching a lot of movies. We watched Annihilation. We watched The Platform. We tried to watch Swiss Army Man, but it was just so fucking, like... it's not for me. I couldn't do it. Annihilation was a slap, though. The Platform was a slap. Kind of like a Blue Balls kind of thing, because... Yeah, Swiss Army Man was mad slow. I just, like... I feel like... I don't know. I just felt like I understood in the first few minutes of the movie. I was like, alright, it's a guy, it's weird, Swiss Army Man, haha. Like, where could you actually take this that's gonna intrigue me that much? Yeah, The Platform was pretty crazy. Yeah, I've been feeling kind of funky. Which is interesting. I don't know, I go into these funks sometimes, which I feel like is being somewhat worsened by just quarantine life right now. It makes it kind of hard to stream. Parts of the Annihilation soundtrack kind of like Flume. Yeah, kind of like Flume. Arca, too. Definitely Arca inspired. Yeah, I went on a walk today for the first time in a while. My girlfriend always goes on walks and wants me to go with her, and I'm just like, a lot of days I'm like, I need to fucking do that more, though. Alright, that's a good place to start, Imagiro. Man, I can't tell you how self-comparison in music is just kind of crazy. I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, how it's really fucking hard to know what you actually want. Because there's this, like, monkey brain part of you that sees people, like, doing huge shit. Like, I see huge, like, Benny Blanco or Kenny Beats or just all these people just doing shit that seemingly feels so much bigger than what I do and more impactful. And it's hard sometimes to not, see that going on at every angle and just constantly feel like you're not doing enough. Which is a terrible place to be, because then it makes it hard to attend to what you already have built and be happy with it, Like, it's tough. But again, it's like a monkey brain thing. It's like, I see like, oh, he has a lot of numbers. He has big followers, big plays numbers. Like, and there's this just irrational part of my brain that's not thinking. It's just feeling. It's feeling bad compared to that. But it's not taking into account, like, okay, well, what do you like to do? Like, does it even matter? Like, why do you actually want that? I guess that's what I mean by the disconnect of, like, wanting shit and what you actually want. It's hard to remember what you actually want, Because if you don't, I think I talked about this on stream before, but it's like, if you're not constantly trying to remind yourself and remember exactly what you want and what your goals are, you're just going to feel like shit all the time. You're just going to see people killing the YouTube game, killing the hip-hop production game, killing the fucking dubstep game, like killing shows, like killing everything. And you're like, man, I suck. I can't do any of this shit. Well, it's like you're not supposed to do those things. Like, that's not even in your, like, when you're feeling your most confident, it's like, yeah, exactly, Jorgen. And that's another thing that you learn. Like, it's a feeling. It's not a thought. If you stop and think, it's like, okay, these people have people they look up to and compare themselves to. Like, no one ever fully feels like they've done it and like they've arrived. They no longer have to deal with feeling bad about themselves ever, you know? I mean, it just doesn't happen. But yeah, it's just hard to know in 2020 how much you're supposed to do. Because, like, at your fucking fingertips, you have access to. Oh. You can fucking see. You can see people. You know, you get on Twitter, you get on Instagram, you get on Twitch, you get on anything, really. I'd say less so Twitch. And you're seeing a super concentrated version of just the best parts of people. Like, people just, you know, obviously. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, it puts it into perspective when people say that to me. Like, when people come up to me at a show or on here or anything, and they're like, dude, like, you're fucking killing it. I wish I was doing what you're doing, man. I'm trying to get there. I'm like, holy shit. That is so weird that people feel that way about me, because I constantly feel that way about other people, too. And, like, I almost want to be like, look, dude, like, I promise you, if you get to where I am, you're not going to feel any different. Like, that's the weird paradox. It's like, you're just, whatever you're trying to satiate is never going to be satiated. Like, there's little pockets of, like, satisfaction. Like, oh, I accomplished that. I feel really good. But yeah, just the whole, just hard to be happy with what you have. I feel like I could be a lot better at that. You know? I feel like I could be a lot better at that. The paradox has to exist for your music to get better and better, though. So that's really interesting. Because once you've been around long enough to identify this paradox and identify that this is all just sort of an empty pursuit, then, at least pursuing whatever that is, then it's like, it makes it sort of hard sometimes to continue, to keep pressing forward. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why am I going to continue? Like, what am I doing this for? Like, how can I stay hungry if I've realized that my hunger's never even gonna be satisfied and I'm looking in the wrong places? Like, you're trying to scratch the wrong itch, you know? It sort of, I feel like it requires being sort of naive in a sense to get all the way to the top. Like, to be hungry enough to make it all the way to the top, seemingly, like to Justin Bieber level, like, how do you even get there? Like, if you've realized at some point in your career, easy, you just find inspiration. I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's a extremely, like, downplayed version of live life trying to chase it, then die not even trying. Because you'd rather live life trying to chase it. But what if but think about what if the chase is not making you happy? Why would you rather die? Why would you rather live life chasing something that is constantly leaving you feeling like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is empty. Why would you want to chase that forever until you die? Like, I feel like once you've identified that's what's going on, you need to look somewhere else. Like, okay, how can I be in tune with what I love and just do what I love without constantly feeling like it needs to be huge, you know? It's just hard to be, especially in 2020, dude. There's so much fucking shit going on. Like, there's 1,000 million songs that come out every 2 seconds. There's 1,000 producers, like, there's 1,000 artists, there's 1,000 rappers, like, and they're all striving so hard. Like, sort of, you know? It just makes it hard to be like, man, what I have is important and special sometimes, you know? Like, sometimes it's, I don't know. The meaning of life is intent. Because life is the chase. That's all there is. I don't know. I feel like there is a direction that I need to veer more towards that maybe most people should veer more towards, of like finding peace. Like finding peace with what you have and just striking a good balance. Because I can tell you right now that the way I operate and the way I think through talking to people, the way most people operate and perceive other people and perceive themselves, no one is really happy ever, you know? Like, people are always unhappy and trying to get happy, and they think once they what, God, if I could just grow, if I could just get to where Medasin's at, I'll be happier. Like, if I could just get to where Kenny Beats is at, I'll be happier. If I could just get to where Benny Blanco's at, I'll be happy. Like, that's gonna do it. If I get these opportunities, and I think for some people that perhaps aren't plagued with constantly overthinking all this shit and thinking this far into everything, maybe it is easier for them to just naively turn on the blinders and just do shit, you know? I was just talking to my girlfriend about this today. Someone said the biggest reason I'm unhappy is I don't have a social circle. This is totally a personal pursuit. Yeah, I don't really either, to be honest with you. I think you'd be surprised how many people don't, you know? Like, there comes a certain age, like, you know, when you're a teenager, when you're in your late teens, like, you kick it with the boys. Like, that's all you do. Like, once you adopt some responsibility, you get a girlfriend and shit, it's hard to even, I feel like most people don't really have social circles, like, especially right now. I mean, if you're doing things for external validation, you will never be happy. What if you're doing things for internal validation? But hi. My girlfriend just got home with some groceries. Where are we? What are we talking about? It's like there's this guy listening. As I was saying, what if you're striving for internal validation, but the expectations you have for yourself are unhealthy? Like, what if what you will validate yourself with is, I need to fucking grow, I need to fucking, you know? Internal validation, I still think I think there's a lot more there that you're not really touching on. Just striving for it. You don't think internal validation could be unhealthy either? You don't think that you could put expectations on yourself that are way too much to where you're never happy and you're never internally satisfied with what you're doing? Doesn't everyone secretly want to be the best ever? Perhaps. Maybe that's what everyone's doing wrong. I think the missing part of that is, what do you want to be the best at? Like, you know, maybe I want to be the best at making Medasin type shit, you know? But sometimes I'm gonna get to some music. I'm kind of running out of steam. The second you stop wanting validation from others, the better you'll understand yourself. Huh. Holy shit. That scared the fuck out of me. Whoa, sorry. Bro, I was trying to make like a main menu type beat the other night. I think the best thing you can do is keep going and put good energy towards the things you want to accomplish. Make big ass in the world needs it, boy. Thanks, Jorgen. And I'm not necessarily like pitting myself. I'm not saying that I feel bad or I feel like this more consistently. Yeah. I don't know. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to this. Alright, yeah, I'm using the whale synth too much. You're good, bro. 22 is young as fuck. I mean, sure, man. I mean, if you think that coming in here and just saying, like, bro, why are you worried about it at 22 is going to make me be like, oh, you're right, dude. Let me stop just thinking about all of this shit and just feel better. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. But, I hear you. I think that's the scary thing sometimes, is only being 22 and already feeling this existentially confused this often. I'm like, God damn, I gotta put up with this shit for this much longer? I'm only 22? I got decades to figure this shit out, which is comforting, but I know I've met people that are 50 and they're still so fucking stupid. Like, I've met 60-year-olds that clearly don't have this shit figured out. Which, you know, we're not the same people, but it's definitely discouraging. It's like, man, is this just the human condition and you just never really figure it out? I need to eat some mushrooms, guys. You're right. Alright, you guys are trying to get existential, I can tell, so I'm gonna, like, I'm gonna keep. I just hope I can find some of the answers I'm looking for and figure out some approaches that work for me that are, not too hard to maintain. Like, I was talking to my girlfriend about this. Like, what happened to contact? I don't know. This shit just got deep, and now we'll come back to contact. I have yet to really do psychedelics, to be honest with you. I've done them in like small. I've taken half it. Never mind. I shouldn't talk about that on stream. I actually had an idea I was talking about with. I think it'd be interesting to have someone like Kenny come on my stream and talk about this shit, because I'm curious how people like Kenny feel that are seemingly crushing it all the time. I feel like it could be beneficial for people to hear him say, like, bro, I deal with this shit too. Because it is this weird... Because if he never lets you know that disclaimer, then it can kind of... I feel like that's why I try to tell people that. Like, if you come up to me at a show and you say some shit like that, you're like... like, I want to be where you are. How can I get better? How can I grow? How can I get closer to where you are? Like, my number one piece of advice is you don't necessarily want to. Like, it's not going to do what you're thinking it's going to do. I feel like hearing someone like Kenny say that, and maybe he doesn't feel that way. I don't know. I'm curious to hear how Kenny feels about this shit, because, like, Kenny goes so hard. I mean, that's the main point. Like, Kenny goes so hard. Like, why? It's interesting to figure out people's stories and why they go so hard. Like, I can't even imagine waking up every day and convincing yourself that it's worth it to go that hard. Like, it's very philosophical. It's deeper than just work ethic. Like, oh, he's got good work ethic. It's like, he's got good work ethic. I mean, he also has found a way to convince himself that that's actually a worthwhile way to live his life, is to just work his fucking ass off constantly. Elon Musk. Like, why does Elon Musk go so hard? It blows my fucking mind. Training every day to be professional. There's so much competition, but people still train. Some recognize they don't have the potential to do it anyway. Some live. Yeah, Kenny's answer won't be my answer. That's why I'm interested to hear what it is. I'm interested to hear a lot of people's answers, I think it'd be really interesting. And you don't get to hear them. You don't get to hear people answer those questions very often. Like, I've never really heard, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should look into doing that. I'll text him and see if he's down to do that. But what was the question again? I don't think there was like a question. Bro, let's start a fucking podcast, man. Let's start like a Twitch live stream podcast hybrid. Play the main menu beat.
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
My uncle made crazy about ours. Their shirt of amazing. He has like 60 pieces of ours, but he hasn't shown anyone. It honestly blows my mind. If I hear other opinions or put a price on it, it will affect my direction. It's always blown my mind. Yeah, like, I think of that, reading that made me think of Sam G, because Sam G is someone who I've always been really inspired by, just in how he's so good at, like, tuning everything out. Like, we sort of came up at a similar time. I feel like I played the game more than he did. Like, I was doing the remixes and playing the big festivals and shit and doing shit to grow. And I feel like he just was really good. Not that one is right and one is wrong by any means. But he was more in the direction of, like, he never gave a fuck. He was really good at just sticking to what he knows best and just making Sam type shit and not compromising. And he never seemingly doesn't care how big it becomes. Like, he doesn't care how popular it gets. Like, it just doesn't matter to him, seemingly. Maybe it matters to him more than he lets on. And that's just something we'd have to dig out of him, but maybe it sincerely doesn't. Maybe people like that. Yeah, Carmack as well. I definitely make music for myself. Motherfuckers talking shit. We're showing love, dude. How long have you been in here, Carmack? Did you hear that whole... Did you just get here? Or did you hear the whole spiel? Are you just walking in, or are you trying to include yourself in this conversation? Because I feel like you could offer some good... I was talking about how people like Sam G... Man, how do you catch Carmack up on what we're talking about? We've talked about a lot. We've covered a lot in 1 hour. Long story short, I was making the case that Sam G is an example of someone's, and they pointed out you're an example of someone as well. What up, Joey? That has always, seemingly from the outside, it seems you've been really good at continuing to just do what you love without getting too lost in the hoopla of, like, man, it's not getting huge. It's not like I'm not growing. I'm not taking over the fucking production game. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, Sam's just always been Sam, and that's what he's loved doing. And getting to a state like that, I feel like, is super fucking beneficial. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm caught in the purgatory of, that's how you take over. That's literally the irony. Like, that everyone that's ever taken over, that's exactly how they did it. Seemingly. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't say that definitively, but I think there is a lot of people that are also super motivated by numerical growth in a slightly unhealthy way. But I don't know. It's interesting. Carmack, do you care? I'm interested if you could just give us a really honest answer. Do you care about numbers at all? And what is your relationship with numbers? Like, how big a song gets, like how many followers you get, how much interaction you get. Like, do you sincerely not give a shit at all? Or do you give a shit what you consider to be a healthy amount of a shit? Like, how much do you let that, and do you let that care influence the decisions you make creatively, or the tweet that you will send, or the Instagram post you will make? Like, it's hard. Yeah, this is hard over text chat. We could Zoom. You could hop in Discord. You have Discord, right? Oh, why is it not? Oh, there it is. Yeah, just click that link. Oh, Carter's on it. Cool. I think I need to add you as a friend before I can call you. Oh, Louie, I just saw your picture. That's how you fucking do it. I see. Alright, how do I... Carmack, I need you to... I think accept my friend request? I think that's what needs to happen. Oh, no, I can just call you. Oh, no, I need to be friends with you. So you gotta accept my friend request. What if he just dipped? Like, we go through all this effort and then he just disappears. You did great! Sober Rob in this piece. Well, while we wait for Carmack to hopefully, I hope he didn't just dip. We'll see. But while we wait for him to accept our friend request, we will play this main menu type beat. What up?
Hello?
Whoa.
Can you hear me?
Woo.
Oh, were you about to write?
Let me turn you down a little bit. Yeah, we can hear you. Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm chilling, dude. Just starting my day late. 5 o'clock over here. It's LA.
Damn. Do you stay up late?
I do. We stay up till like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Pretty much most nights.
Like for any particular reason, or is that just you've just adjusted to that schedule?
That's just kind of my schedule. Always.
Yep.
It's always been that. I've tried to do mornings. I try to get myself on a morning schedule, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's kind of how I've always done it. I've always like stayed up producing like 10, 11 p.m. and then all of a sudden it's fucking 3 a.m.
Yep, I've always been the same way, and sometimes I get in moods where I feel bad about it. I've probably been my happiest if I can just be cool with that being the case.
Yeah.
Because it's not changing anytime soon.
Right. True. Can they hear me? Can you hear me on Twitch? I'm not even on Twitch right now. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they should be able to. Can you guys hear? They said that you're too soft. Let me turn you up a little bit.
I'm too soft.
Yeah, you're too soft, dog. Gotta
fucked up.
Get tough.
Good.
I turned you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird day. I don't even know what's going on. I just started stream and I just started to talk about something. I don't remember, and I think it just snowballed into. Dude, people want to get existential today on Twitch. I think people want to get existential in general. I feel like people don't get a chance to hear like. I mean, maybe more so people like me and you that enjoy talking about this shit, but people have a hunger, I feel like, for hearing their favorite producers' outlooks on just shit.
I mean, damn, there's a lot of shit going on these days. There's a lot of time to fucking think.
Yeah.
I think 100%. A
a
lot of people don't fucking do that enough because everyone's just fucking constantly fucking doing shit before this, you know, like
Yeah, that's
working, trying to scrounge around for money.
yep.
That's what happens when I think we hit a apex of just running around and like acting like ants and constantly working, you know. And it's
Yeah,
like, and then all of a sudden this happens and everyone's forced to stop and actually use their brain function. It
totally.
takes time to think about shit. It takes time. You can't just fucking,
Yep.
you know. It's so weird. It's the time to think, honestly.
It's
If you
like
weren't
a
before, shit.
blessing in disguise sort of thing. I feel like it's good
Yeah,
for the world.
there's a lot of silver linings in this shit.
Yeah.
But what was your question? What was the question? I forget what the question was.
The original
That,
one, just before we even got in a call.
yeah. What was it?
I don't know if it was one particular question.
Oh,
Let me think of how to summarize what we were discussing. I actually have. Give me a second. Let me pull something up.
also, I don't want to bother your fucking producer. Like, I don't want to bother you making shit too.
Oh no, I honestly I hardly feel like making shit, so I'm glad that this is happening.
What? I don't want to be a
Um,
fucking distraction.
no, not at all. I this is honestly what I want to do. And it's funny, it's ironic. I said this right before you got in chat. I was talking about how I had the idea of like inviting Kenny or you or people on here to talk about shit like exactly like what we're discussing. Maybe I summoned you on accident, but I don't know. I guess do you have a hard time staying happy, like with? I guess I want to say with your career, but I feel like for people like me and you, our careers and our lives are so synonymous with each other that I guess it's the same
Uh,
thing. Do you have a hard
yeah.
time
I
staying
mean,
happy or fulfilled or content with what you have?
usually when you have a job or a career that it becomes synonymous with your daily life or whatever your overall life happiness, but it doesn't always have to be synonymous. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
keeping your career separate has always been kind of a that's always been kind of a key to happiness for a lot of people that work, say in like the business sector, or like lawyers or motherfuckers that know how to turn that side of them off and then go home to their family and kids and just become a parent or become someone else, you know. But
Yeah.
obviously we're human. Obviously we're human, so we can only, or we're not fucking robots, you know. We can't. There's no off switch for certain things in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And plus that goes like doubly to us because we are part of the creative industry, which means that our our creative output is dependent on our emotional health. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of musicians and people, you know, that are quote unquote unstable in their lives or fucking reckless or just depressed or overall crazy,
Mm-hmm.
just they either pop off in a huge way because you know that's such a vulnerable place to create,
Mm-hmm.
or they die early or you know for any reason,
Mm-hmm.
you know they don't. I don't know.
Are you saying that would be an example of someone that's completely on one end of the spectrum of putting it all on the line with this music shit? Like
Yeah, like
having less balance?
yeah. I mean, having less balance is indicative of being. I mean, again, like music is not an indicator of you know personal balance. Like I can't listen to. I mean, I guess I could listen to a bunch of musicians or artists that you know put out music regularly and just determine that they are fucking depressed in their life or
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not like the point I'm trying to make when I'm just saying it's like your creative output and what you make is dependent on your emotional health. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
your overall life, as in like, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? Are you happy in your relationship? Are you happy with your parents' relationship? Are you,
Right.
you know, are you financially stable? Are you down to earth? Do you think about death too much? Like all those things that don't necessarily tie into your music as an object, you know, your music, or your creative process. But then again, it is definitely relevant to your creative process. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Yep.
That's what I always tell a lot of people is that, like, your overall health in your life affects your creative process. Like,
that's like the irony of it too. If you're kind of tripping about, like, say if you feel like you're in a writer's block and you're kind of bugging out about it, you're actually perpetuating the writer's block to snowball and be worse and worse until you're just stuck in an abyss. You know?
Definitely.
It takes doing the opposite to cure a writer's block, in theory. Is to, like, step away from making music at all and go smooch your girlfriend on the cheek and go for a walk and shit.
Yeah, it's a tactic. It's actually a proven method of making yourself more creative. It's by going and doing something that you wouldn't normally do. You know, not to say do something illegal or go fucking do something crazy, but, like, you know, there's things that you do that you can do that you wouldn't normally do that would actually, believe it or not, help kind of push your creative process in a different way. And it helps your thought process about everything too, you know?
Yep.
Like, I encourage that to everyone, because, you know, most people that don't get a writer's block or get depressed is because they're fucking been sitting in front of Ableton for 8 hours and haven't, like, gotten up and saw the fucking sun. You know what I mean? Or, like,
do you think that feeling can sort of... Do you feel like that feeling is easier? It's easier to get to that place in 2020 when at your fingertips, like, you can constantly immerse yourself in other people's success. Like, at every moment that you're not creating something amazing, you're also aware, like, maybe you could literally visualize it happening. It's like, all right, let me step away from making music right now and just look at Twitter. You get on Twitter, you see fucking, like, you know, all types of shit. Kenny doing this, Benny Blanco doing that. Like,
yeah, well, our social media is not a good reflection on the overall world. Like, we've created a world within social media that's catered to our own interests. So going to Twitter and going to, you know, Instagram for kind of outreach is a little bit of a backstep, because you've already followed all of your favorite producers. You've already clicked all of the shit that you would probably click because you're a producer.
Yep.
And all of that shit is now catered to you as an aspiring, or
not only catered to you, but it's also like a hyper concentrated, like, everyone putting their best foot forward. Like, you're seeing a distorted version of reality, and it can be easy to just compare yourself to it.
Definitely.
Subconsciously.
If you ever, like, if you ever have a friend that is completely removed from the music industry, I don't know, it's hard to find. Like, I have a couple people that I know that use social media. Just, if you go through some of their social media, like, just not, like, personally, like, go through the DMs and shit, like, just see what's catered to them. It's gonna be completely different than you. Like, I have a homie that, you know, teaches 200 kids how to play basketball, and, like, his fucking catered interest is all about basketball. Like, he follows, like, all his shit is all about, you know what I mean? And it's like, but it's the same kind of hyper concentrated, you know, distorted thing, because that's just how it goes. Like,
yo, real quick, if you ever want to learn something about someone, just look at if you can get on someone's laptop and see their YouTube recommendations, it's like looking at someone's fucking penis or something. Like, that shit is so vulnerable, dude. I've opened it on stream a couple times, and it's like, all I get recommended is, like, ASMR and fucking, I'm just like, oh, you guys aren't supposed to see this shit. Anyways.
Yeah, it is. Just go through your fucking history. Hey, Medasin, open your fucking history. Let's get real personal, bro.
My history's clean, dude. I keep that shit Never mind.
Ooh, yeah, me neither. Never mind on my. Never mind.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I think that the creative process and overall health is it's a yin yang thing. It's connected and it's not connected. Because like I want to be able to.
Do
I
you feel
want to be able
like?
to. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you feel like you've gotten better over the course of your career, or I guess just life, at getting closer to a middle kind of balance with, or I guess just to a place of more peace with what you do?
Not really. I mean, I try to like I just moved like right before the whole lockdown thing. I literally just moved and this is like my first month of living alone. I've always had roommates. I've always had people in my house like fucking bothering me and shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like this is literally the first month or the second month actually. I'm in the second month of living by myself and it's kind of is a coincidence. I don't know that it would happen right as this shit is popping off or we can't leave our houses, but like I have been finding a lot more peace and just having my own space to create. I think we as creative individuals we tend to be influenced by a lot of outside, so like that's why we are creative, is because we're so receptive. We're so fucking receptive to the outside world, both negative and positive, and we're so drawn in and curious individuals.
Sometimes it feels like being a true artist is sort of like being an emotional martyr, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like taking on, I mean, yeah, all the good and the bad for the sake of making art out of it, which is sort of like a dark way to live life for too long.
I mean, hey, like
it's beautiful too, though.
You see it. You see a lot of artists that go out like lights, man. They burn too bright and they go out. So it's like, it's you can't expect an artist to separate himself from his own feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not the name of the game here. Like the name of the game is to be able to, I mean, even finding a balance is such a subjective thing because your balance shifts at every point in your life. Like, okay, I don't have any money now. Where's my balance at now? Finding that. Okay, I just came up on $100 million, and I feel suicidal. Where's my balance now? You know what I mean? Like, like balance objective in itself, and it's so. I think keeping things a lot simpler than your brain makes it helps with balance. What do I need in the immediate? What do I need in the moment? There's a lot of ways to do it, man. I don't know.
Money is an interesting one. Oh, I thought I just heard SpongeBob. It sounded like the SpongeBob thing. What was I about to say? Yeah, it is interesting. Like, once you get to where you're paying your bills and then some.
Yep.
I feel like I'm still sort of in the phase where I'm reassessing like why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Good.
Like
questioning is always good.
Yeah, because I'm living with my parents. I'm making money, and it's all very neurological. Like I'm getting a lot of dopamine from selling a sample pack, for making $1,000 off a sample pack when I'm like 17 and I'm making no money. It's like, holy shit, my brain is like, keep doing that. And my parents are like, holy shit, good job. This is actually a career and you're not a fucking stupid SoundCloud kid. That's awesome. And it's like, yeah, I love that my parents feel that way about what I'm doing, and you keep doing it. People from high school praise you. They're like, holy shit, dude, you're doing big shit. Good looks.
You're making it.
You're doing it, bro. And it keeps
doing it.
It does have a somewhat of a ceiling, though, for how much, again, that, like, I'd say the first couple years of, like, popping off, there's a lot of dopamine there. Like that's kind of how you pop off. Is like the dopamine is telling you keep fucking doing this, keep going, see how far you can take it. And you go and you go, and then boom, like you land at a place where, you know, like I'm sitting in this nice fucking studio that I have built. I'm not really worried about bills right now, and I've lost.
That's number one.
That's number one.
Being an adult is getting to a place where you can support yourself. You know what I mean? That's like a really good barometer on where you are as a person. You can just at least take care of the basics, like, okay, I have a roof over my head. Okay, I got some food in the fridge. Okay, my health, I'm not fucking like falling apart at the elbow. You know what I mean? Like, and that's there's a lot of things that we can control in terms of basics as a human. That will, you know, am I exercising? Am I eating good? You know what I mean? Like, these things are pretty basic things that'll help with your overall happiness. And like, then again, you know, there's a lot of musicians and artists that fucking deprive themselves of that shit and sit on a couch, you know, shooting up, playing guitar. You know what I mean? And that's just their reality, and that's their balance, and that's their comfort. So it's like, I don't ascribe to that. That's not who I am, because I want to fucking, you know, that's just not who I am.
Right. So it's so it's almost, if you, what is it? Someone's hierarchy of needs. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's where like, if you think of, sort of apply that to what we're talking about, it's like, okay, so you're not doing drugs, you're sober, you're healthy, you're hopefully exercising, you have enough money to pay your bills and then some. You have enough money to pay your bills and just buy some fun shit, and not really, you know, you're not rich, but so then once you've propelled yourself there, sort of off of this very human dopamine-induced reward system, I think there is like a period where you have to reevaluate, you know, because again, it doesn't feel good to me anymore. If my, you know, my mom calls me, and I mean, I love my mom to death, don't take this the wrong way. If my mom is like, holy shit, you're doing so good, like, it doesn't feel the same as it did when I was 17 and I really wanted her to feel that way. If someone from high school DMs me and they're like, dude, you're crushing it, like, it doesn't make me feel as good as it once did. Like, it's you taper, you get used to it. So then I think like reassessing why you're doing what you're doing and what your goals even are, like constantly being aware of what that is very important.
Well, as you get older, you become more removed from people's everyday consciousness. So like when you're in high school, you're with playground rules where everyone's constantly seeing your success or constantly seeing you succeed every day for 8 hours a day. But when you're 29, like me, like I can choose not to see my friends or come in contact with my friends for 2 months.
Right.
And they'll see my successes or my failures indirectly, or they'll hear it from their friends, you know, secondhand, third hand, saying, "Oh shit, Carmack did this, Carmack did that." What? Carmack fucking did what? Okay, and their perspective or their rating of you is not in your face all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like once you get that, I tend to take a lot of criticism with a grain of salt, both good and bad, because they really don't know what the fuck I've been doing. Nobody knows.
Right.
I'm you know, I live alone now. You know, I sit here and make music alone, and it's like you don't really know what the fuck I've been doing. You know what I mean? Like, so usually someone says, "Fucking you fucking did a great job on this." I say thank you and move on. Oh, you fucking, you know, you did some dumb shit at your show a month ago. I heard it from a friend who went to the show, and I say thank you for your criticism and move on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If I was younger, then I'd probably take offense to it. I don't know.
Right.
You see a lot of. I don't know. It's weird. I'm 30 now. Like I really can't think about a lot of motherfuckers, you know, judgments of me enough to affect my life, you know.
Do you think that you
But
still get a positive validation from people?
definitely. Oh, I'll take that validation. I
You'll
mean,
take
these are
it.
the ways.
Do you think that
Yeah.
it's a fuel source? Do you think it makes up any like percentage of
No.
your fuel source to keep going?
Yes, yes and no. I mean, I don't. It's not a. It is a driving force if I get positive reinforcement from my projects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's not. It's not a. It's not a barometer for success. Like you hear about like motherfuckers back in the day, like Michelangelo or people in the 15th century that 100 years after they died, their art started getting fucking clout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like clout existed back then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like motherfuckers in the art, the patron area of life. Like they're the ones that are like dictating how much your shit is valued. You know, and they are the ones telling you. So clout did exist, and it's like they're fucking, you know, telling you what you should do based on how much money they give you. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, shit hasn't changed since then. You know, we got motherfuckers out here giving gobs of money at kids to do things.
That's really interesting.
Can't do it, or they don't. Yeah. Like,
maybe it's less different than we think. Like we just think it was so fucking
same,
ground level, but it's
shit,
the
bro.
same motif. Like it's literally the same shit. Yeah.
Same shit.
Huh.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Like we haven't changed as a human society in that regard. You know, we've improved a lot of things about our life and our you know, our way of life and our, you know, standard of living has increased. Like nobody's getting fucking bubonic plague anymore.
Yep.
We got a new one here now. We got COVID now.
What to say?
But it's like shit hasn't changed, man.
Yeah.
100 years ago, Spanish flu.
Yep.
Motherfuckers was making amazing music that people thought the devil fucking worshiped. You know what I mean?
Dude, someone asked an interesting question in chat I wanted to answer.
Yeah.
Someone asked about legacy, if we care about legacy. And I was thinking about this the other day. It was kind of random. I was watching some, like, behind the scenes with Benny Blanco, Juice WRLD, and, the fuck is his name? The guy from Panic at the Disco.
Ooh.
So I don't want to fuck it up.
Who's the guy from Panic at the Disco?
Who?
Brandon Urie.
Yeah.
Brandon Geary.
Erie or something? Yeah.
Brandon Urie.
Yeah,
Urie.
him.
Brandon Urie.
Thank you. And, anyways, I was watching, Rest in Peace, Juice WRLD.
RP.
Them all talking about I don't know, some shit. They all did a song together or something, and it was interesting just watching Brandon from Panic at the Disco, who everyone fucking knows. Like, they were huge. Like, sitting next to Juice WRLD, like, talking to Juice WRLD, who's... Bro, what the fuck was that? It sounded like someone was pushing out a shit.
No, I was stretching.
Oh, okay.
I drank too much coffee today. I'm fucking sweating. You know when you get to cold sweats?
Dude, I fucking hate that shit. And I actually do the same thing. Stretching, like, makes me feel better when I'm feeling a little...
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I love stretching.
What the fuck was I even saying? Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. Like, legacy is just interesting to me. Because it's like, like, everyone falls off. Like, you don't not fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be hot at some point. And it's just a weird thing to think about. And someone is going to be hot. So, like, no matter how hard you strive to be hot, there is going to be a moment where, I mean, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Like, your fall-off potential is even higher the bigger you are.
Yep.
It's just interesting that it
inevitably
is...
Person. Like, I would never be judged as my... Like, of course, my music... I would like to think my music would outlive me, but the way shit goes in this world, like, I'm not dependent on that. Like,
so fuck a legacy.
You hear a lot of people that make hella money and don't leave it to their kids because they believe that their kids need to work towards their own success. Like part of the human struggle in life is to struggle, is to actually go through something with your friends or alone or with your family that would depend on survival or depend on you making decisions that you hope to never make this again. You know what I mean? Like that's just, it's just like legacy means what? Leaving kids money so that their kids.
I think he meant more
you know
so
what I mean?
like the social perception of you. Like if you like
positive, like a positive.
like
I mean,
I
think in the artist realm, the best thing you can do for your legacy is to impart your knowledge, like to teach. That's a huge part of solidifying your legacy is teaching.
I agree.
I think just leaving your art there for people to admire can, have a big effect on your legacy. But I think the biggest, by far, much bigger, is to impart your knowledge because, human beings live to learn. Like I want to be able to have people, know the way I made music and not have that in darkness. You know what I mean? And that, and that should be. I don't know.
Is there anything you'd like to pass on beyond teaching music?
Huh?
Is there anything you feel strongly about teaching and passing on outside of like the mechanics of how to make music?
Yeah, I mean, teaching like how to act in certain environments. I don't know. Like we've tried to institutionalize K through 12 learning into a system where every kid supposedly goes through the same goddamn hoops to learn the same shit. And it's like we live in the internet age now where every kid is fucking subjected to everything. You know what I mean? So we're coming up to an environment where an institutionalized education system is probably not the way to go. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to, not have my kid read the same textbooks that I read when I was a kid, because that shit is not what I can find on Wikipedia or I can find with my own two eyes and put in front of them. You know what I mean? I can create a version of the history that they learn based on the infinite amount of resources that are available online. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. We are in those times. You know what I mean? Like there's no ignorance left untouched. Shouldn't be, at least. There shouldn't be, but
I agree. I'd love to pass on. I've noticed lately how passionate I am about passing on sort of what we're talking about, just shit outside of music, as to just how to be happy and be familiar with your feelings. Like I think before you hopped in we were talking about, like, I get mad uncomfortable, and maybe you relate to this. If someone comes up to me after a show, I'm like meeting fans, and pretty much every show there's someone like, dude, like I fucking love your shit. How do I do what you do? Like I'm trying to get to where you are. And it's just a bizarre feeling. It's like, dude, I still feel that way. Like that way that you feel about me, I feel that way about someone else. Like,
right. I feel you.
It's just interesting how many people, I think, are striving. I think it took me striving for so long and getting to a certain place to even have the knowledge to be able to share of like, this is not it. Like, it's not the answer. Right. You know what I mean? And
I mean, yeah. I mean, and even then, you'll probably come up with something in the future where you'll change your perception. That'll shape your answer even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just the beauty of life. You know,
there's
like,
there never is one answer. You never arrive. Like
yeah, but you do want to establish some sort of indication that you've learned something. You know what I mean? Like
Totally, yeah.
I think that a lot of people that kind of overgeneralize a lot of things, just in terms of like somebody can actually say what they learn
Mm-hmm.
is reaching into themselves and actually looking for the answer.
Yep.
And that in itself is like mature. You know what I mean?
Totally.
That's like a really positive thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people can't even start with that. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't. A lot of people just give canned responses, or they don't actually reach in and figure out for themselves what the answer is. And hey, you know, that's their life. But
some people
I
might
think
not even have
for
the capacity to do it.
Creatives, though, they don't because they don't apply themselves in that way. They never have, or they had a dad that never did it, or they had, you know what I mean. They never had a dad. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to actually answer that question. But I think the crux, the solution, or at least in my opinion, is to never stop applying that sensibility to your own life. Never stop reaching for the answer to those questions, and that will help your creative process. That will help you get out of depression. That will help you know what I mean, and or get you further. I don't know. Like it's a. I'd rather do that and struggle in that sense than never actually try and answer those questions truthfully.
I agree, because that's a thought I have often, is you see people that seem to be like obliviously, naively like prancing through life without having to activate just this whole fucking side of themselves. Sometimes I feel jealous of that. But at the end of the day, I think, I don't know, I feel like I'm working, I feel like I'm getting closer to answers, and I feel like I found a lot of answers, and I think the pursuit is totally worth it.
I think success is not synonymous with finding answers either. Like, you see a lot of kids that find $100 million in their pocket because they made 2 huge songs. And then you got a bunch of kids that look towards them for answers. And then it perpetuates kind of the same ignorance.
Totally.
Because they haven't found the answers themselves.
And I think that kind of ties into what we were talking about at the beginning. Is like, I think that just as a collective consciousness of just the youth right now, I feel like that sort of is the narrative of what it means to be successful. And that's where it can kind of get tricky, if like feeling good and feeling confident in your success and not constantly feeling like you need to be doing more, or like, I don't know. Real quick, someone said something that I thought was interesting.
Hey, my phone's about to die, but I hate to cut this short.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
I'm gonna fucking charge my shit. I got my headphones plugged in.
All right, you do your thing. I'm gonna try to actually make some music.
This is what we should do this more. You should do this on my channel.
Dude, I'm down. I'll come over whenever. Just let me know. All right, dude. We'll catch your stream next time. I'm gonna try to make some music. You be safe. Oh. Either his phone died or he just straight dipskied. Appreciate him for doing that. Should do that more. Definitely should. I'm still trying to find. There was a message that caught my eye. I'm gonna find it. Oh, okay. I'll touch on this a little bit, and then I'll try to make some music. Someone said, being a noob was dope. I was way more experimental back then. I think, dude, I totally relate to that, and that's something that that's sort of what I'm getting at when I paint that picture of someone coming up to me after a show and saying, you know, I want to be where you are, blah, blah, and I'm trying to explain. That's sort of what I'm trying to explain to him, is I'm like, dude, I think I was actually happier when I was in your position. Like, when I was just open to everything and experimenting and finding my sound, and there was no obligations, there was no deadlines. Like, There was no responsibilities. I was literally like, you should appreciate where you are right now and just continue doing, even if you fucking suck at producing. Like, if you get that feeling, it's like, from what you're doing, you're probably happier than a lot of... Oh, nice. Thanks, Imadro. I'm gonna check those out. Yeah. Yeah, the beginning is fun. Is it lagging? Let me reset my interface real quick, because that always seems to fix whatever y'all are talking about. Give me a second. Hello? Is this better? Hello? Sober Rob said, where does the pressure to stop experimenting come from? Or make more of a sound that did well, usually the industry peeps. Yeah. I think for me, it's like, I don't know, I guess it depends. The pressure to stop experimenting is definitely fear. You know, like, you've done some things that work, and it can be kind of scary to reimagine how you're making music at all and adopt new tools and techniques. It's like, oh, but I already have these ones that have been working, and I've had some successful tracks and remixes. You know, I totally relate to that. But it is interesting to, you know, I go into phases. I'm like, okay, right now I'm in an experiment phase. Like, I'm not trying to make anything successful. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just going to go on Splice, download a bunch of new sample packs, get a new plugin, just start doing shit that I wouldn't normally do, that I've been wanting to learn and get better at. And I can kind of spend that time refining these new tools, then I can bring them back to where I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll kind of be here doing what I know, and every now and then I'll just, like, go out and explore, find some new tools, bring them back to my home base, you know? Because it is risky and fearful, and I wouldn't recommend constantly being in a state of experimenting, unless you're literally an experimental artist, unless you're like Arca. But, you know, if you do something similar to what we do, if I were to just say, fuck everything I know, I'm just going to experiment all the time, then I'd, you know... I mean, if I wanted to do that, then I guess I want to do that. That's all that matters, but I don't want to do that, and I think I would... Not that this matters, but I'd probably lose a lot of listeners if I did that. If I just started putting out fucking ambient, distorted Arca sound type shit. Because I'm constantly experimenting, and I'm not, like, bringing shit back to home base and making it work. Again, I just don't really actually want to necessarily be that person. Say you have found your sound, but you decide to change it up. Are you afraid of what feedback will come to you from your fans? Say you have found your sound, but decide to change it up. Are you afraid of what feedback will come to you from your fans? You know, it's not going to be easy. I wouldn't say no one is afraid of that, but you can't let it stop you. If I've been making music for a year, say I go on a year hiatus and I'm making some shit, what about Flume, his mixtape and shit? We'll come back to that. Yeah, you know, I mean, it requires some self-awareness, in my personal opinion. I think should you do what you really just want to do, always. Like, if that's what's making you happy, but I think you can accidentally make yourself more unhappy by not bringing it back. You know, think of, You just have to be aware. If you're making big room house and then you randomly decide to start making folk music, then you gotta expect it. Like, your fans of Big Room House, of your Big Room House project, are not gonna be too stoked about fucking folk music, you know? But it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's something, you know, Porter, like, take Getter, for example. He's getting a lot of shit for changing it up. Yeah, I mean, that's the example that's sticking out of my head as I describe this to you. And I love Tanner. He's a fucking super funny, amazing dude. And I think it's kind of touchy. I feel like it's, you know, I don't want to speak on his situation too much and have him say something that doesn't actually represent him and how he feels, but so it is like walking on eggshells, kind of, I feel like, but, you know, I think that's a good example. It's like, I don't know, man. I remember when Porter Robinson put out Worlds, and that shit, Son Holo went from electronic to an actual, like, rock band. He did, but the transition made sense. He always played guitar. He's always incorporated guitar. His album 1 has, like, almost all of the tracks are guitar melodies. Like, it makes, that's not, I think that's not as big of a leap as you think it is. He's always sort of been in that vein. But yeah, Porter Worlds era was crazy. Because Porter was making electro house, dude. Like, people don't know that. Most people got hip to Porter Robinson after Worlds. Oh, I got a dropped frame. That's not good. My internet might be fucking up again. If my internet cuts out, then I'm sorry. But when he was doing straight electro house, dude. And Worlds was hella left field for what got him popular, electro house and remixes and shit. And then he did Worlds, and it was like, whoa, you know? But again, sort of like Son Holo, I think a lot of those elements that you hear in Worlds, of like the melodies and just everything about it, you can hear those, you can hear the seeds of those in his past music. It's not as like 180 as you think. He made it work, you know? And he definitely had fans that were not fucking with it either. I also remember when Skrillex put out Recess. Like, I remember when Skrillex put out Recess, dude, and people hated it. A lot of, like, they fucking loved it, and it's iconic as fuck. I didn't understand why they hated it, but when it first dropped, a lot of people were like, what the fuck, dude? You know, I think it just happens. You just can't let it defeat you. Because if you let it defeat you, then I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's see. I don't even know what I'm making, dude. I hardly. I love how this pad comes in. Dude, that's so satisfying. This shit. Love that. Someone said something about hey bro, you gonna say something about Flume? I don't know. Dude, I've been making a lot of OST shit the past few days. I consider this finished. I just had this idea, like, I've always... Dude, video game music, and I don't mean that as in video game sounding music, not like Super Mario type shit. I mean just like OST, like from original soundtrack. That's what that stands for. OSTs from Kingdom Hearts. We listened to some last time. Kingdom Hearts, Zelda. Like, there's a lot that have really touched me, and I just think it's so cool, like, just making a, you know, you think of like Halo 3 main menu music. It's like, you're not, when you're playing the game, you're not even consciously, like, you know the main menu music, but you don't really care. It's just kind of in the background. You're not thinking about it. Kingdom Hearts has such a good menu theme. Say Kingdom Hearts menu theme. You know it's pretty. You're like, yeah, I love that piano. You don't think too much about it. But you play the game so long, you hear it so many times that 10 years later, now when you hear that song, it instantly, like, transports you back emotionally to that era. And you didn't even realize you were establishing a connection that strong. But that's what you're doing. When you have these songs playing in the background, like, constantly, while you're just living life, you're with your boys, nerding out on whatever the fuck you're playing, Skyrim, like, whatever it is, like, you're literally essentially brainwashing yourself. Like, you're brainwashing yourself to just associate all these happy memories with this song. And I just think it's interesting. You just don't realize that you're doing it. But yeah, I'd love to make... God, I would love to score a video game. Like, score the menu theme, score... At least just the menu theme, dude. I can make some hypnotic-ass shit that, like... It'd be so fun to just, like, give that experience to people that I'm describing that I love so much. It'd be fun to be the person that made that for someone else. Like, to make the song that everyone constantly hears while they just idle at the main menu. And then, like, 10 years later, all those kids that spent so much time playing the game, they hear the song and they're like, whoa, I didn't even realize I would remember that so hard. I think, like, that's such a personal connection I feel to music that's really strong to me, and I think I just want to recreate that for other people. I feel like that's all I really do when I'm making music. Just trying to... That's another interesting thing. It's like, that's pretty much what everyone's doing, is just recreating the feelings they enjoy from music. Like, they're just trying to pass on the experiences they like. Like, I'm not trying to make good music. I'm just trying to make music that... Trying to replicate music that's moved me. And, like, recreate that connection for other people. Pass it on, if you will. Minecraft, that's another one. I don't personally play it, but I know that the song, the music in it is really chillin'. I want to pull up this harp from Contact, because it sounds really fucking OST-like. God, there's terrible latency. Let's see if we can write a little harp melody that sits nice over the piano. I love this wind too. It adds like a really nice texture. It'd be cool if we just did that. It would be nice to record this so I can get some variation in velocity. But, yeah, let me change the name of the stream because Carmack is gone. Making OST type beats. Making game OST type beats. That's cool. That's a cool person name. Alright. I don't like this. Let's start over. Alright, it's going to be really sloppy because of latency, but that's okay. I just want different velocities. Oh, that was actually... Oh, that's nice. Fuck, really? What did I miss? Did someone say some dumb shit? Why am I so... I want to know so bad. Every time you ban someone, I really want to know what happened. I wish that I saw it. Sorry, I'll turn the metronome off. Or sorry, mute. Or just deleted message. Oh, I can just click to show it. I'm tripping. Oh. Okay. I see. Also, I don't know why I'm dropping frames. Maybe it's because my girlfriend is here. I've never streamed while my girlfriend's here, and she's on the internet too. And maybe I'm like running low on fucking bandwidth, because I should not be dropping frames. It doesn't even go that low. What the hell happened? What did I do? What did I do to contact, dog? What? There we go. Bring it in right there. So let's see how this flows right now. Let's bring out some of those highs, the pluckiness a little bit. That's what we want. First of all, can we just appreciate this pad? You know what? I tried to exaggerate it by dropping this pad out, but I moved everything. So let me... Alright, I gotta do something about that real quick. That's okay for now. they're still a little too aggressive. Is there a setting? That's what we want. Oh? Whoa. That's fun. We'll play with that later. Yeah, we just want it damper, so let's just make another instance of it for the higher octave. Ooh! That's nice. I'm having to boost this a lot because it's just not allowed to begin with. Damn, the timing is really shitty there. I'm gonna fuck that up. We got some backseat producers. What's going on? Hold on, let me catch up. What is too much? Where are you guys at? What is too much? With the harp? No, it's okay. I'm not saying that in like an assholey way. I'm serious. You don't have to love it. If you think I should change something, I'm curious what it is. Is it because I haven't been reading chat. If something sounds muddy. I mean, it does sound, honestly, kind of muddy. I mean, there's a lot of fucking shit going on. I also have some bunk-ass Ozone 8 preset on it as well that really squashes everything. Listen without it. I think we just turn it up and get rid of Ozone, because it sounds way better dynamic like that to me. Someone said, I want to know how you made those random ass bloops. I will show you. So I made them on the Prophet, but I'll kind of explain to you what I did, because you can, I'm sure if you have a synth with similar features, then you can just redo. Uh-oh. Alright, I hope the stream's not fucked after I just did that. No, we're good. So, I need to change the sample rate real quick of my, explain that whale sample too. I can explain that. I've gone over that a few times on here, but that's also from the Prophet. I need to change the sample rate of my shit, and sometimes it fucks up when I do that, so I literally blue screen sometimes, so if I blue screen, then I'm sorry. How do I even do it? Oh yeah. I have to change the sample rate to be able to use the Prophet, so cross your fingers. Changing sample rate on stream while streaming from it. This is kind of sketch, but here we go. Are we good? Did that work? Okay, now. Wow. God, FL's fucking stupid. I just did this. Alright. Now we're good. Alright. So, I don't know why I have no idea. I just noticed that my Prophet sometimes sounds super distorted and like fucked up, like very fucked up. When I use my streaming FL ASIO shit, and I had no idea why. I was like, whoa. And one day I just changed the sample rate, and that fixed it. So I changed it from 44,100 to 4,800. And, you can post a link if you're not just like shamelessly self-promoting. I don't mind. You can share links, but if you have something interesting to say, like, hey guys, this is interesting, check this out. But if you're just like, what up guys, my name's Alex, I make beats, check me out here, then no links. Alright. So we're going over this synth real quick. So it starts with a preset that's already pretty close. Let me find it. So this is where it starts from. And the way, so all it's doing is it has a volume saw LFO on it. So the volume is just dink, 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 dink. That's what gives it the pluck. Fuck you guys. So you can do that in silent. You can do that. I think you can do it in silent. I don't know. So it's actually not delay. I'm just holding it. It's just one note, but then it's a sawtooth in the volume. And it's for each individual voice too. So it's dependent on when you press the key, and then that voice activates its sawtooth, if that makes sense. It doesn't just throw it into a master soup of like this, all plucking on the same grid. They all have their own voice, so, which is really fucking cool. And then the way you get it to, so this is the one we have. So what it's doing is, remember I just explained to you it has a sawtooth on the volume, a sawtooth LFO, ding ding ding. So there's a, if you go to that LFO, we have it right here. So we'll sustain a note or a chord, and we can control the frequency, the speed, how fast it does that. Just the frequency rate, that's it. So then you do another LFO that controls the frequency of that LFO in a sine wave. So it's the speed of the pluck sine waving. So what did I fuck up? Oh. Alright, so we'll take this. Destination LFO to frequency. And the fun thing is, again, they're all, every voice is in its own band. So they don't all dump into one master pluck. So the way that it's also, the speed of it is being controlled, it's also individually controlling that speed for every band. So the sensation of the sine wave speeding up and slowing down, it's not like it's just a sea of a bunch of different bands speeding up and slowing down, all randomly. They're not all doing it in synchronization with one another. Like, you could make them do that like this. But then if you play them all randomly, it just creates this fucking... That doesn't sound as good as what? I was just showing you what... Oh, sorry, you meant all of them doing it together. Exactly. And then you get this. I love the randomness of it because it's a texture. It's like it's not trying too hard to be a synth. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, yo, new synth incoming. It's not like aggressively asserting its place in the mix as like an instrument. It's just a melodic texture that just randomly kind of sprinkles. It's almost like melodic Foley to me, you know? Especially with the panning. I think it pans a lot. If you can hear it circling around left and right. So it just makes this nice like palette on top of everything that's already going on. What up, Pyramid Plaza? Fucking legend in this bitch. Dude, this is my favorite part about the whole song. It's just the pad, the wind-up pad. I can show you how to make that, too. It's a very similar... It's actually almost the exact same conceptually to the whale synth. All you're doing is you're controlling the cutoff and the pitch bend simultaneously. So if you want to do that for the kids at home, it's super fucking easy. Check this out. Take any pad. All you need to have a pitch bend that you can modulate and a cutoff. So we'll take this. Just make a pad real quick. That's actually the whale synth. Listen to that. Sound familiar? And then all you do is you sustain in the note. And then you have pitch bend. So you just put a bunch of reverb on it. That's all that is. And then if you did a pad version of that, that's it. Super easy. Literally, I'm not kidding. Like, in terms of easiness to how awesome the result is and how impactful the result is, this is, like, super skewed. Like, it's so easy, and it just levels something up drastically. Like, anyone can do that in 5 seconds. You hardly need to know anything. Just a cutoff knob and a pitch bend. That's all you fucking need. Oh, dope. That's how Weird Summer starts. Yeah, but actually Weird Summer is different. That's not it. It winds up pitch-wise. It doesn't wind up. The speed of the song winds up. But yes, you're right. It's the Friends chord. Wait, how did you know? Wait, what's the Friends chord? This is. Then that's the next chord. Let's jam for a second. I'm bored. That sounds terrible. The release is way too high. Okay. I love these chords a lot lately. This. Sorry. This. And this. What? Man, that shit is... God, the latency is so bad. It's so bad, dude. Like, I don't know. Can you see on stream how fucking bad it is? Watch. It's like almost a full second. You know what? That might help the muddiness. I didn't realize there's a huge reverb on the piano, and it's hella compressed. It's unplayable. I agree. Low cut on the reverb. Good call. That sounds good. And just less overall, I think. That's the main menu theme. I mean, that's it. That's it. Is it symmetrical? It is. Um, I don't know what else to do to that. I really shouldn't. I feel like I shouldn't do much else to that. What's the harp? The harp is contact. I just got contact today. What else do we have? I don't even know. Let's just go somewhere totally different. I'm gonna open something I started the other day. I have no idea what this is, but we're about to find out. Spins 808. I have no idea what this is. I'm kind of nervous. It's kind of hot. Kenny Beats tag. Bro, Kenny Beats tag on the fucking OST type beat. I was thinking about like making a sample pack like this, for example. Just looping that and dropping it in Discord and seeing what you guys make with it. Would that be? Would you be into that? I know it's kind of asking a lot. But yeah, that would be fun. That's the rules, though. It comes how it comes. I might not stem it out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I don't want to stem it out, I'm not gonna stem it out. You just got to figure out how to work with it. No, I'll probably stem this one out because there's a lot. G-Nails type beat contest. What else do we have? There's this one from last time. Actually, I don't even know if I made this on stream. I think I made it. I don't remember. Just a beat, though. It was pretty hard. Yeah, that bass is a little strong. Bro, I gotta stop using the whale synth. It's just like, I haven't released anything that uses a whale synth yet, so I feel like whatever makes it out first with the whale synth, that's when I'll stop using it. But when a song gets released that has it. I don't know if Imagiro's still in here, but I still have this beat that I made with the guitar shit that he sent. Whale put Kenny out of business. There it is again. Prophet is 16 voices. If you're gonna ball out on a synth, do not get an 8-voice synth. Get as many fucking voices as you can, because you're limiting permanently how fat of chords you can play. You could work around it by, say if you had a 4-voice, you could literally record in 4 notes, and then do another recording of 4 notes on top of it, and so forth, but just get a 16 voice. You're already in the thousands of dollars price range, like, just get a 16 voice. I kind of want to finish this with a Magiro. Maybe this will be the first whale synth debut. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to finish it. I think it just needs more happening throughout, like more, like from this point and beyond, it just needs to have something keeping it fresh throughout, and that's really it. And then like an outro, and then some other shit on this second section that makes it more fun. Yeah, I was thinking maybe a lead. Maybe I send it back to Imagiro. Because I'm just like, I love where it's at. I did pretty much all of it. He just sent me this guitar loop. But maybe it is time I send it back to him and see if he can revitalize this track. Maybe like do some piano lead on it. Where's he at? Can you guys go grab him? How do we get a Majuro? Let me just go DM him. I'll message him on Discord. Hey yo. Thing. I love where it's at. I think it just needs a tiny bit more to keep it interesting throughout. Maybe a piano lead or something. One second, You be down to try some stuff. All right. You want to do a type racer? I haven't done one in a while, but I type pretty fast. I haven't done one in a long time. Let's do one. I'm bored. Alright, it's about to get competitive. Window cap. Oh, did Kenny do a beat, like a sample beat challenge thing today? That's dope. I want to do one. Oh, whoops. Uh-oh. I'm in this bitch. Alright. Dude, I haven't done this in so... I unplugged my keyboard. Of all times for your keyboard to come unplugged. I'm still gonna win. I'm still gonna win. I'm still gonna win. Oh, I hate doing this. Ah, fuck off. Get shit on. Get shit on. Hold on, that's not the fun one, though. Yeah, these kids are just abnormally slow, to be honest. I type way faster when I don't have to do apostrophes and all that shit. I mean, who actually types apostrophes in 2020? Like, every program that you would be typing in auto-corrects it for you anyways. So it's kind of a pointless, like, it makes sense that I'm not good at that, you know? What's the other one? 10 fast fingers. That one's fun. Because it's just a random word generator and it doesn't give you any stupid shit. Damn, he was pretty close. What I think that's what he said, actually. He said like 110, 120. You could tell by the sound. Well done. Does anyone want a 1v1 right now? Oh, he said 120 to 130. Newless, you want the smoke? How do we 1v1? Type race 1v1. Oh, on Type Racer. Oh, I'm about to get shit on, dude. How do I'm trying to think of how to get this link to you without dropping it to everyone. Because someone's just going to join. Oh, I guess we can all do it. Wait, what the hell is that? The link doesn't even fucking... It's not clickable. Are you joking? How do they give me a link that's not clickable? Oh, it is clickable. Is it? Oh, just copy and paste it. We're racing, boys. Ah, fuck me. Dude. I'm fucked. Dude, what is this shit popping up in my... I got shit on, dude. That was not fair. I had shit popping up. That was fucked. That was fucked. Can we just can we restart? Do we have to wait for everyone to finish? Damn, we got boys in this piece. This website is probably having more traffic right now than it's had in years. Alright, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. This is a music stream. Honestly, I might not, I might close stream and go, like, eat some food and chill. I just got shit on, though. What to do today? Might play some Valorant. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go kick it in Carmack stream. Let's raid Carmack. Let's fucking raid him. Can we do that? We're raiding Carmack. Let's go. It's just all caps, Mr. Carmack. Join the raid. And if you've got Megamind emotes, you're spamming that shit. I better see blue Megaminds, all types of shit. Let's go. 113 are ready to raid. We need more. We need everybody. I don't know how many are in here, though. Maybe it's like 113 at this point. Fuck it. We're raiding. Let's go. You're not even gonna notice or something.
Instagram, the